Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we are helping the world experience what's possible. And here today to help me with that mission is our lead author of a book called We Lead, Building Connection, Community, and Collaboration for Women in Business. This is volume 2, AliceAnne Loftus. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. So happy to chat.
Volume 2 in this beautiful series, you guys. I'm going to share with you a little bit of sneak peek of our book cover, all your beautiful contributing authors. You have created a powerful community of women that I have been really happy to get to know and play with and all the things. And so I'm excited to put this second one out. You guys, let me just tell you a little bit about AliceAnne. She is a dynamic entrepreneur and professional coach dedicated to empowering women through business leadership and personal growth. With a passion for fostering supportive networks, she has inspired countless women to achieve their goals and create impactful change in their communities. So, congrats to you on the second book in the series. What's your why behind the topic of leadership?
Why behind the topic of leadership? I think that we have really powerful women leaders in business, that are doing incredible things, and we're not meant to do it alone. I think that entrepreneurship, leadership can often be glamorized, and you think you have to be this super woman to be able to do it. And the truth of it is that we're all super women in our own right. We all have our stories and our experiences and our perspectives that have helped shape us as leaders. And I believe it's our responsibility to share those stories and those experiences so we can help other women leaders.
Well, you guys are going to be diving into a book with personal, real stories of how these women got to doing what they're doing today and their journey of leadership. But then we're going to share practices, some practical strategies for you so that you don't have to guess anymore, because all of these women are sharing their master teachings, their secrets, their strategies that they use. That's my favorite piece about the book, is really just the practicality of it. And there's a lot of strategies that we try, we fail, we might make mistakes, all the things. What do you want people to know about that piece of it?
Well, years ago, someone told me that women don't write leadership books or business books. Women write self-help books. And that hit me really wrong. Really, really wrong. And I think what We Lead, volume 1 and 2, do is each chapter, after you hear the story, after you read the story of how this woman is the leader of her life, of her company, of her community, she gives you this very practical tool to use. And what I love about that is each chapter is empowering the reader to take action in their own life, to be the leader of their own life, their business, their community, whatever they're leading. And to me, that is true leadership, of being able to take your experiences and kind of give a blueprint and say, hey, if you're going through something similar, if you're experiencing the same thing that I went through, or if you find yourself in this place, here are literally the steps that I did to get through that, or to improve my situation, or to take that next step. And even as I was reading all the chapters as they were coming in, I was like, gosh, this is so good. This is so good. Because I think we've all been in situations that we're like, if I could just learn from someone else who's been through it, that's true mentorship there. And I love that piece of it. I think that it's, like I said, it's our responsibility to share that with others as they're coming up in their own journeys. And every time I pick up We Lead, I learn something new. I see it in a totally different perspective because I might be in a different place.
The wisdom. I mean, your expert author cast has been around a minute. They've been doing some things like,
Yeah.
and so I read the wisdom in there and the experience in there, and I'm like, oh man, I wished I had had that when I started my journey in the very beginning, you know. And you said it a minute ago, but this I want to talk about this a little bit more. I think that part of leadership is, of course, self mastery.
Mm.
What's something you've worked on in yourself? Like, what's one of those things that you had to master in yourself to help you become a better leader?
Oh gosh, I feel like I'm constantly learning and mastering. I think maybe it's that learner's mindset of just really accepting that you'll never have it all figured out. And if you think that you have it all figured out, then I really feel terrible for you because that means you're done growing. One of my key strengths is love of learning. I think leaders are learners, and something I really had to embrace is just this learner's mindset of looking at every opportunity as either winning or learning. I'm either like getting better at something, um, or I'm able to share what I've learned to the next person to help them be better at it. And so I would say probably through my leadership journey, my greatest mastery is the learner's mindset.
I actually think that is the mark of a master, is that your practice is this beginner's mind or learner's mindset. And I love that so much. I remember testing for our black belt in martial arts. And when you get to that point of the journey, you aren't figuring out what you know, you're figuring out what you don't know.
Right.
And you have to earn that step. Of course, you've worked on this for a long time. There's a quote that says something like, well, if you've done anything for 10,000 hours, then you can label yourself a master.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of truth to that, but don't you think that no matter where you are on the journey, literally wherever you are, you can always help somebody else who hasn't gotten there yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think in every situation we're in, we're either the teacher or the student. And that's beautiful. That's beautiful to me. Just sharing knowledge, sharing experiences, perspective, resources. That's how we evolve and master as a humanity. Mhm.
So, I know that you'll join me in thanking all of your co-authors. So, just my quick thank you to all of you is, you took on the challenge I gave you of putting those vulnerable stories in this book and your master teachings both. And I'm just very, very grateful to all of the women who said yes to We Lead, both volumes, this one as well. What else do you want to say to your co-author team today?
Oh my gosh, there's just so much love. And people might say, "Well, how does love fit into business?" But let me tell you, love is the core of my business. I love people, I love learning, I love sharing. And I have so much love and respect for my co-authors, each one of them. And I don't know if your other lead authors can say this, but each one of my co-authors has profoundly touched my life. And people couldn't just sign up to be in this book. I personally invited them because of how their stories, their experiences impacted me either personally or professionally. And so when I read their chapters and see these tools that they're putting out there, because I've had that growth in myself, I know that it's going to be impactful for other readers. And I'm so invested in this because I've experienced getting to work alongside each of these co-authors.
I think that you love collaboration like I do.
Mhm. I
And yeah. And I want to know a little bit more about. So, of course, when we get together and collaborate in a book like this, it is big badass energy, y'all. Like it, you bring all the experts to the table, and you get to play in that sandbox, and you have a much bigger energy, I think, that any one of us could have by ourselves. What more does collaboration mean to you? What's it meant to you in your life and business journey?
Oh, I just don't think we're meant to do these things alone. Entrepreneurship and leadership can feel very lonely. You you might be scared to be vulnerable with other entrepreneurs. You might be thinking, well, I have to look like I have my act together, that I have all the answers, that I know all the things. And that in that mindset, that keeps you very small. It keeps you very small if you can't openly collaborate and show your vulnerabilities and share your strengths and pull the strengths of others, and ask for help. You without being able to do that, you keep yourself extremely small. And I have seen this Leading Lady just celebrated 8 years in business. I love that. I think of all of the different collaborations that I've had over the last 8 years with fellow leading ladies, and uh, how how big that has, what the impact that has made, how we've helped each other's communities, how we've learned from each other, stretched each other. um, it's powerful.
So, yeah, let's back up and talk about that business for a minute. So, you have a co-working space in Annapolis, Maryland.
Mhm.
What do you want to tell people about the leading ladies? Yeah.
Yeah. So the co-working space actually was like a happy accident. I purchased this building during COVID. Everyone thought I was crazy for purchasing commercial space during COVID. And the idea was that my office was going to be here. And I had spent years pre-COVID, like renting other event spaces to host my workshops. And so when this space became available, I said, oh, this is great. I'll have offices upstairs, and then I'll have this big event space where I can host my own workshops. And then I don't know, I guess I started thinking, like, well, what am I going to do with this space when I'm not hosting my workshops? Like, it's just going to sit empty. It's just this big empty box. And I thought, well, I was renting space. I was doing all, looking for space like this for my workshops. I bet there's other really incredible women that that can offer value to the community that would like to be part of that. Now, I wasn't looking to be a rental space though, but I thought, okay, what if I had a membership? And the members came here and we helped amplify each other's businesses. We participated in like this business mastermind of learning and teaching each other, but then curating events and workshops that we could offer to the larger community. And the rest is history. I mean, the members just came. I don't know. I felt like it was like a field of dreams. If you build it, they will come, And so I created it, and now there is something happening in here every single day. I It blows my mind the things that have come from this space. We have an emotional fitness studio, which is a series of mental health workshops that comes through. We offer finance workshops, um, marketing workshops, yoga. I mean, there's so much stuff that happens in this space, and it's created a reputation of where people can go for quality resources. And it's certainly offered a lot of value to our local community here.
It's also really beautiful. And you use the word curated, which is a word that I love. You really put some energy into how you design the space. And I love meeting there with the ladies. And it's just really beautiful, Allison. I love that space.
Thank you.
And energy is everything, right? Like your intention and energy that you put into this, and it's you can feel it expand when you're in a space like that. So a lot of times I'll walk around and think a lot about the Laura who started like the first few months of that business, maybe even before starting, and what I would say to her now. So I wonder, what advice would you tell yourself, that AliceAnne who started everything?
Gosh, I feel like I've been 100 different versions of myself. I don't know if that's just age. But, I read something that if you could line up all the previous versions of yourself, like, just would you just embrace her and thank her for how she got you to the next version? So if I had to go back to Alice Ann who started this, um, I don't know. I think I would just hug her. I would just hug her and thank her for believing that she could create something. And I don't say that with arrogance. Like, when I started Leading Lady, it really came from a passion of just wanting to bring women together. Really bring women together and collectively amplify our voices and say, no, we really are leaders. We are really movers and shakers and doing big things. And so I would just thank her for having that dream and for working so hard. Um, I often say that I fought to be the woman I am today, and I have the dirt under my nails to prove it. And I, I'm just, I'm glad I'm somebody that took a chance, that was willing to work hard and persevere.
So, aside from this beautiful book, which you guys can go purchase on Amazon, all right. So, we lead building connection, community, and collaboration for women in business, volume 2. But of course, you could buy both volumes. Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Um, and we hope you do, because it's going to be an amazing journey for you with all of these beautiful people. But you have a lot going on besides the book. Like, if somebody's interested in membership or what, share with everybody what you have.
We have a lot. We have a lot going on. So I have the Leading Lady podcast on Spotify, Apple, anywhere podcasts are streaming. That we're getting ready to approach, I think, 5 years on that. Golly, I have almost 300 episodes. So you can get more information about me there. I have the Facebook group. We have just under 7,000 members. Again, it's not a huge network. I believe in going deep, not wide, necessarily, but it's a great place to just connect with other women in leadership. We have the Leading Lady Ambassador Program, which are vetted business owners that can work with businesses anywhere in the world, and they can support you on your leadership journey in many facets of your life, whether that's the operations of your business, visibility, financial hygiene, to wellness, you as the person. I really believe that to be successful leaders, we have to look at it ourselves holistically and make sure that we're supported everywhere. So I've carefully pulled together ambassadors and experts that can support you in all of those different facets. And then we have the Annapolis Collective. Today, we actually launched La Cadena de Éxito, which is a collective for Spanish-speaking Latina business owners. To really, if we're really going to talk about supporting women, we have to support all women, not just ones that look like you and me. And so we're continuing to grow and provide rich resources for all communities of women. And I don't know where else we're going. I don't know where else we're going. Just whenever there's a need and it pops up, if I think that I can help or create or participate in something, it's likely going to happen. So lots of stuff happening.
You're awesome like that too. I know. I feel you. There's a lot going on. And you have such an incredibly engaged, heart centered, caring community. I've really enjoyed being involved as well.
You know,
So, what's some final words you have for the audience who might be ready to pick up this beautiful book? What do you want them to know?
that women do write leadership books.
Amen to that.
Women do write leadership books. Women do write business books. And I think what makes us so amazing at business is that we don't compartmentalize, that we really do bring our full womanhood to it, our full femininity. We bring in our perspective, our experiences. We talk about hard stuff. and we're willing to be vulnerable in our business and in our lives. And I think that vulnerability is actually our strength because it empowers others to learn and grow with us and through us. Also, Laura, like I cannot, from the bottom of my heart, I cannot thank you enough for believing in this project and We Lead One, pulling that out of me, kind of holding me up across the finish line for that, and then believing in me to bring out volume 2. It is a joy to work with you. Thank you for again amplifying these voices and giving us a platform to bring it forth. I think anyone who's thinking about reading this book, you won't be sorry. I believe that there is a story, a chapter, an author, someone that is going to resonate with you, and you just never know. That might be the chapter that changes your life and encourages you to take that next step.
Yes, love that message. That is a for sure. And thank you very much for the kind words. Thank you for what you do in the world. And thanks for being here today to share it with everyone.
Thank you.
So, you guys, hop over to Amazon, right? The link is below for you. If something that AliceAnne talked about today gave you the goosebumps, or you have a question, or you need some support, this is way more than a book. This is a really generous community, and especially lead author AliceAnne Loftus. She's ready for you to reach out. Okay, so come down below. I've got all the links to all the things that she talked about, the podcast and the programs and the book. And you can also join us for our book launch party on Zoom. We're going to have that on November 22nd at 10 a.m. Eastern. We're going to have all the We Lead Volume 2 authors there with us. And I've got information about how to join us for that. And lastly, today, everyone, remember your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.